Back to Weekend Report. Media personality Penny Lebyane is back on our small screens with her new show, Sangoma Khanyisa. The show premieres on the Honey Channel this month and will see families seeking spiritual guidance to heal rifts, get the help they need. Now, renowned Sangoma Khanyisa will help people find that reassuring voice. Each episode sees a person in need present their problems, accompanied by their loved ones and friends, in hope of finding answers to their problems. Now, let's take a look at what the show is about.
Do you feel stuck in your life? Blocked and not making any progress? Are there times you feel there are things in your life that do not make sense? Have there been situations that have happened that left you questioning who or what has influence over your life? Clarity is important for progress.
Even more.
If you need answers, WhatsApp us on 064-602-1342 or send an email to honeycastings@media24.com. Come consult your ancestors with the help of Mkhulu Ramesi here on Sangoma Khanyisa.
Right, we're now joined by the host of the show, Penny Lebyane, on our not-so-small screen. A very good morning to you, Penny. It's so good to see you. You know, you've got such a storied and glittering career. This is the next step in your career. Just talk to us, you know, first of all, about what doing a show like this means for you personally.
Thank you so much for having me on the show this morning. Doing a show like this, you know, it really brings me full circle as a young African woman born in the southern tip of the continent, going into this dynamic continent of ours and really tackling the narrative of our spirituality as Africans. The last 2 years has really shaken the human race globally, and everybody went into their corners in their countries, in their home, and it was about taking care of your own, but it was also about looking in about who you are and how where you are can help you navigate the situation. I mean, what do I mean by that? You know, we realize that a simple plant like umhlonyane, which, you know, just grows wildly in our communities, had the properties to be able to enable us to deal with this pandemic. Even though science had rejected us and some of our ways of doing life, you know, our scientists and our healers and our people came collectively and said, this is what can help us. Or ginger, a root plant that's connected to nature. And this show really, for me, speaks to those elements. I'm a girl who grew up in Bushbuckridge, watching her grandmother go out one morning, comes back with a plant and wash her hair, and she didn't have problems with her 4C follicle hair. But I grew up with a grandmother who would boil something and give me to drink, and I never struggled with anything as a young child. And I got into this media space. I've dealt with issues of mental health. I've dealt with challenges of, you know, being a modern day, you know, African woman, and it really gives me that sense. It's about a full circle journey of what it means to be a contemporary African woman in 2022.
Now, rooted in the essence of African, this show is. It provides healing, it provides answers. Do you find that members of the show really leave with, you know, themselves in a better place than what they were when they walked in?
So we are 6 episodes in, you know, by God's grace and, you know, our ancestors and the dedicated team that we work with. I came to do this show with an open heart because I understand the brokenness and the challenge of what we face as a nation and as a people. Our people come here. The people come here with questions, and Mkhulu Ramesi, he's been able to navigate through and answer those questions with the power and the help of ancestors, because ultimately it's about what people believe, it's about what people are seeking, and I've seen people go with, you know, nobuso obuwile, you know, with confusion and coming up with their faces lighting up, and whatever small level and a spark of hope and a sense of things will get better, that a soul, a being can sit here and have a conversation with me and then go in and have a conversation with Mkhulu Ramesi. If they leave here feeling, you know, I think it was Bishop Tutu who said after voting he felt, you know, 3 inches taller. if they come out feeling just a little bit like that, we would have done our job.
It's called emotainment, wordplay on the emotional aspect of it. Spiritually conflicted people are some of the guests that you have. How much of themselves do people actually lay bare in this show?
You know, I've been blessed to work in a lot of productions that speak to this genre, you know, emotainment or emotional entertainment. And I've been cognizant and conscious of how the dignity of the people that I work with is preserved. And, you know, if you look at the few shows that I've done in the last few years, and this show sits right in the heart of that. They share their personal challenges, they share their personal struggles, and in the conversation we try to help them navigate to seeing the light and to seeing the difference that's possible. And because they believe that their ancestors can help them, or there's a role that they can play, then Khulu Rametsi is able to connect them to that world and speak to that. And sometimes some people believe that, you know, the challenges that they face, they could be bewitched, or they are bewitched. And if there is such a case, that comes through. But also there's a lot of things that people do in trying to helping themselves. What I love and I've come to respect in the last few episodes and what we've been able to do with Khulu Rametsi is the dignity that he's been able to give them, because some things are very personal. They shouldn't just be blurted out there. But I can affirm you that we're leaving no stone unturned. But at the end of the day, it's about how open you are and how you want help. I don't want to use how desperate you are, but the reality of it is that people are really challenged and they're looking for help.
Penny Lebyane, thank you so much for your time bringing African spirituality back onto our screens. It's a real pleasure speaking to you this morning. On that